Hey guys, good morning. Thank you so much for joining this session. I welcome you all to the session. So, what is that we are going to discuss today? I will flash my screen and let's start. I think I already flashed my screen. So, let's see this one. This is my meetup group, .NET Learners House, and we're conducting almost 2 to 4 events every month. So please subscribe to this channel. And today's event is this one, and we have Amazon SageMaker, and then microservice series, then another microservice series, and AZ204 labs. A lot of things are happening in this one, and also please subscribe for my YouTube channel, .NET Learners House. Okay, thanks. So I think we will get going on this one. So let's first discuss is that we are going to do in today's session. Okay, that's pretty important. So let's see what is that we are going to cover. So we're going to what is it we are going to cover is I was confused within this one. Okay, so this is the session. So if you see, first we will see what is Azure OpenAI. I mean, we have this platform.openai. We'll spend a minute or two on that one, but we will mainly focus on this Azure OpenAI. Okay, then we'll again come back and we can discuss that what is platform.openai and rest of the things. But as of today, we will discuss on Azure OpenAI Service, and then we'll do a 30,000 foot view of Azure AI Studio, because today is the first day we are starting with this Azure OpenAI. We will work with studios and tools which does not need any programming, but programming will start from next month's episode, because the programming is also there, but I just don't want to dilute our session, because let's have our fundamentals good in this one, and then we'll go further in our learning. Suppose if we are able to complete the topics which I have piled up, then we will go and look into the Python code or C# code. But as of now, I think these things itself will be quite good enough. So you can have this Windows 10 or any other operating system for the matter of fact, but if you have this .NET 7 and Python with Visual Studio Code, any operating system should be good enough. And Visual Studio 2022 specifically for the folks who are from the Windows side of the world, like me. And I'm still a learner. And one important point I would like to highlight is I'm 2 weeks old in machine learning or data science. I did a lot of sessions on different technologies, and this is the first time I'm doing something on AI. And just to let you know that I'm not more than 10 days old in this one, because I started learning it. So thought whatever I'm learning, I will discuss it here. That's my thought and concept. Okay. So again, I'm telling I'm just 10 days old in either the data science or machine learning. I'm 10 days old. Thank you. So let's start discussing. So let's first go to platform.openai. So this is the one, platform.openai, where you will have all the services which they are providing. So they do have the playground also, where you can use the mode what you want to do. You want to either edit chart or insert, and the model what you are using. Is it DaVinci or Curie or Babbage or Ada? And you will adjust the temperature, stop sequence, stop, and rest of the things. But we will see few items today, but not many. But we will one or two we will learn, but we will focus exactly on that. What is that? Why are we using it? And another important point is previously this was an open source, and then they converted into a company to pay better salaries and maintain the company. I think they converted this from open source to paid. And you can see we have a very good and excellent documentation. And you can go to this tutorials also. Like we'll come back and we'll discuss about the text completions and also other things in future. But today we'll just get going with this one. We will definitely need to come back on this one. We will discuss more on this prompt engineering. But as of today, we will be discussing on the text completion, which I've opened it aside and I'm keeping it. Okay. So this is the platform which is we are discussing today. OpenAI, but not exactly in the OpenAI, because this is the paid version. And if you see my account, if I go and check the usage, I was given a $18 credit, but I could use only 0.6 of that because I could not spend much time on this one. And I had only 10 days time to burn all this $18. I could not. But this is pretty fantastic. So the other thing is Azure provides the OpenAI service. So that is what we will be looking at today, Azure OpenAI service. Just give me 1 minute. Let it flash this. So I have this Microsoft Azure sponsorship subscription where I have created this. I will show you how to create it, but just let's see. Let's see. This is the Azure OpenAI screen, how it looks. So how do we create this Azure OpenAI? So if you go to the Azure OpenAI, you have to subscribe for this, and they will enable. They have enabled one of the subscription to me, and this is the cognitive service. If I come to the overview, you can see that there are a bunch of things. We will take time and we will come and discuss step by step on this one, but at least today we'll start with this Azure OpenAI. So apart from that, you have speech, and you see that language services, translator, and Q&A maker, and computer vision, custom vision, face API, anomaly detection, content moderator, personalizer, content safety, health insights, and multi-purpose cognitive service. A lot of these things. Similarly, they have given OpenAI service also part of this. Okay, so how do we provision this OpenAI services? All we have to do is click on create. And when you click on create, it asks for the subscription. You can choose the resource group and provide the name and the pricing tier. As of now, there is only one pricing tier, standard, SO. So that's the only tier which is available as of today. So that's how we created. So if you come in the left navigation, select Azure OpenAI and just click on create. When you click on create, it will display a dialog where you can select the resource group in which you need to you want to create it, and give the name, and select it. And from the region perspective, there are very limited regions because they are releasing step by step. So if you are creating a virtual machine or app service, you'll see a lot of regions it's being supported. But this particular Azure AI is pretty, as of today, it is little limited to 3 regions, but as and when it grows old, they will be releasing to multiple regions. And the pricing tier is also standard. So we discussed how to create. Okay, so I will keep that, and also I would like to give a couple of links. It will be helpful for you guys to make a note. That's the one, and you can see the content for today is here, and also this is my GitHub link. So all the work which I learn, I will save it there. I'm a learner always. I learn from watching some other videos from different sites and different websites and different books, but all the time I'll be learning something or other topics. So that being said, let's come back to this one and see what is that we are going to do today. So we started with this, and let's understand what is the Azure OpenAI. We will see that for some time, and then we will go step by step. So this Azure OpenAI Service, which one is that? I just kept that link. Okay, we can go from here. What is Azure OpenAI? We'll see this one. So you can see that Azure OpenAI Service provides a REST API access to OpenAPI's powerful language models. That means this is the company which has created this OpenAI, and Azure is providing the API to interact with the powerful models which was created by Azure, this OpenAPI company. Okay, as of now we are using Chat GPT-3. Okay, GPT is generative pre-trained models. Okay, that's largest language models. Okay, GPT, generative pre-trained models. Okay, that's the full form of GPT. And now we understood that Azure is providing the REST API interface to talk to the OpenAI. Technically, we are speaking with the OpenAPI, but through Azure. Like how it provides different services, like it provides SQL Server as one of the service, or MySQL, MongoDB, or PostgreSQL, like that. A lot of services it provides. So similarly, it is providing OpenAI service also. That's the first point we wanted to learn. And the second point we wanted to learn is this OpenAI service quota and limits. So as of now, we need to see that what all the facilities do you have and what is the quota. As I was mentioning, you have this generative pre-trained models, GPT 3, 3.5, and 4. So we are using GPT-3. And you can see AI resources per region, per subscription is limit to 3. I can't go ahead and create 10 Azure OpenAI resources like this. Maximum of 3 is allowed. I can't do more. So we have some restrictions. So we need to learn that what is it. And the second thing is number of requests per minute. Just that this is providing the service. If someone start hitting it with thousands of requests, no. As of now, 120 requests per second, because we are using DaVinci model. I'll come back to the model in a minute. And tokens per second will come back. It's there in our list. What are tokens? We will do a little bit of deep dive on the tokens, but let's stick to the game plan. We'll see. Like this, you can come and learn what is the quota. The next thing is models, the trained models. So you can see there are different things. As I was mentioning, that we are using the generative pre-trained models 3, a series of models that can understand and generate natural language. We'll see some of the examples, and we'll come back to other things like creating the image and generating the code. We'll come and do all these things, but let's take baby steps to learn few things. And the generative pre-trained models 3 has got this text DaVinci 3. This is what we will focus today. Okay, so this text DaVinci is a model on which I experimented since 1 week. It's excellent in solving many kinds of logic problems and explaining the motive of characters. So it is seriously very good. I really liked it when I was playing with it. Okay, so we spoke about what is OpenAI and what is Azure OpenAI. It's talking to OpenAI only. And little bit we need to understand is the OpenAI service quota and limits. Each will have its own limits. And service models, there are a lot of models, but today we will be speaking very specifically on DaVinci 3. And today we will be doing the experiments using the tools and tools provided, zero code. And I'll show you how to generate code. And if time permits, we will go ahead and try one Python code. I do have C# code also ready, but I don't want to dilute this session. Let's see how much we'll be able to cover. So the next thing is, what is Azure OpenAI Studio? Oh, there's a spelling mistake. I forgot to add Studio here. Let me update it right here so that I can check in this. So this is Azure AI Studio. So we will be seeing what is this Azure AI Studio. Okay, so if you want to learn about this Azure AI Studio, so you can see that when you come to any of this chat GPT things, I'll show you this one. When we come back to this itself, and when you go to quick start and click on this GPT-3, there you can see getting started generating text using Azure OpenAI services. And very specifically, we are using DaVinci. And you can see that you might need the Python, as I was mentioning. And we'll come back to this endpoint, API key, and other things. As of now, let's come back to this one directly here. If you see that, it shows how can you make a REST API calls. That's what we are seeing here. Here it's a base URL. It gives a prompt, and you create a payload, and you're making a post call, passing in the header of API key, content type, and give the JSON payload, and you hit the endpoint. This is the REST API calls. Now you are very comfortable in Python. You can write the Python programming like this also. Like you can use the completion models, and you need to import this OpenAI. We'll see that what this OpenAI for a minute, but we will not. I mean, if time permits, as I was mentioning, that's an npm package. Fun. So you can write the REST APIs and other ways to communicate to the Azure OpenAI. You have the endpoints, but you can use this OpenAI Node.js library, So the advantage is that you have this object and you can like tell that, okay, create completion, and it creates what is the model and what is your prompt, and you can communicate with this one. So you can either use your own way to do it, or you can use the Azure OpenAI library. You did a pip install. We'll come back and we'll do a deep dive once we start working on the programming model. Just for reference, I don't want to derail this session, but if you come and see here in the Azure OpenAI, I just gave a lot of captured a lot of this. I didn't give. Whenever I was learning, I just created the notes here, so that we can create our own virtual environment, and we can do a pip install, or we can do a pip install Jupyter Lab and pip install notebook, and we can use this and couple of inputs which we will be seeing few minutes down the line. What is this? But I'll be capturing more and more notes and frequently doing sessions on OpenAI. So I just wanted to give you that. So if you're more comfortable in C#, you can come back to C#. And similarly, the NPM, you have the NuGets for .NET. So you can come here and you can install azure.ai.openai package and ensure that there's a pre-release. As of 1 week ago when I was trying, it was pre-release. Maybe now it is released, I'm not sure, but we can try this one. But as I was mentioning, let's park the programming way. So the programming way is very much easy, because it already creates a class, and it has got a namespace, bunch of classes, bunch of methods. So you don't need to sweat this way. I mean, if you're very comfortable in writing the REST way to take control, do everything on your own, you're good to go. No one, there is no restriction. It's purely 100%. It's your personal choice whether you want to go ahead, write everything on your own, or use the pre-built packages. Like if you see this, if you're writing in Python, you will have OpenAI NPM package. If you're writing in C#, you have this azure.ai.openai. This package is there. Okay. Now, if you're a click guy, so you have a studio. So that's what we will be discussing, this one. So how do you navigate to this studio? Once you come to the cognitive service, and inside that, in the left navigation, you have this Azure OpenAI. So you click on this Azure OpenAI, and inside this Azure OpenAI, you can deploy a model, like a get started. Like if you see develop, then it gives this keys and other things, which we are not worried at this point of time. So, but if you click on this, it will land you in the AI Studio. So that is, what is this AI Studio? Okay. So that's how you navigate. So you go to cognitive service, you go to Azure OpenAI, and we learn how to create it. You click on create, select the resource group, give the name, it will create the Azure OpenAI service. Now, once you get into that Azure OpenAI service, you can click on explore. Okay, so that will open the studio where you can start playing with this generative pre-trained models, or the model, the text completion model. And we are specifically using DaVinci. We are not using Curie. I mean, there are a lot of other things, Curie, Babbage, Ada. Each has got its own pros and cons, or each will do its one job or multiple jobs very specifically. And regarding the comparison and other things, we need to explore more before speaking something on that. And one important point to discuss before moving forward is, the first thing is you need to deploy a model. Once you get Azure OpenAI, it's not the magic wand that we can go and start playing around. First thing is we need to deploy a model. So if you see that, if I click on create and select the drop down list, you see I have text data, text Babbage, text query, text DaVinci 2. I think text DaVinci 2 is the older um, generative pre-trained models. And this is GPT 3.5 Turbo, the latest one. But I deployed only text DaVinci. And you also have the code DaVinci. Now, text similarity and embedding, we have different things. But let's be very focused for today. Like we will discuss on text DaVinci, because this is our first day in OpenAI services. As and when we grow old, every month on a steady cadence, I'll start data science and Azure machine learning, to be precise. So first thing is we have to deploy. As I've already deployed, it doesn't highlight that. And also once you select any of this one, and it asks for the version, it's the latest one, the Turbo, you can deploy, but our focus is this one. And in this, the very specific things which are very, very important is, I'll keep this Python programming also side by side. So just to compare, we'll not do anything now, but first we have to make our hands-on on the Studio and REST API. So let me be very precise on that. Learn Azure OpenAI. I'll select this folder. Okay. So if you this one, if you see what all the things here, the key point is OpenAPI's base URL. We'll come and see that how do you that OpenAPI's base URL. We'll see that in a moment. And the next important thing is, some people, they will tell us deployment, but technically it is a deployment name, model deployment name, whatever the name, when you're creating it here, the name which you specify, that is what you definitely need it. So it will be here. So don't get confused with this version. I mean, I'm doing mistakes, whatever I did it. I was confused with this and I spent more than 3 hours. I was giving this version number 1, version number 2. It was not at all working. That is a different version. We will learn about this. There are 3 important things you need to understand. One is the base API URL. One is the deployment name. Deployment name is this one. And is definitely not which is showing here. It is somewhere in a moment. Okay, let me come back to this one. So we saw what Azure AI Studio, and we learned few other things around it. Okay, so a quick recap, because this is the first time we are discussing. So under cognitive service, you have Azure OpenAI. You need to click on create, specify the resource group and the name. And there is a restriction of 3 per region in the subscription. We saw that. And once you click on, apart from other cognitive services, OpenAI service is also one of the service. When you click on that OpenAI service, you'll see a lot of things. And here, if you say develop, that's where you will get key. The keys are very important. And this is the endpoint. I told you, isn't it? The base endpoint. The base endpoint is this endpoint. And before working on anything, you need to deploy the model. The models are already created. You have to deploy and start using it. So how do you do that? You click on create and you choose the model. I mean, the text DaVinci 3, I already deployed it. So other models you can select and specify which version you want to select it, give the name. And the name you give it is very, very important, because when you're using either through REST API or through Python or C#, the deployment name plays an important role. So apart from the endpoint, apart from that endpoint, you also need to definitely know that what is the deployment name for that particular model. So this name is very, very important. And regarding the version, I'll come back in a minute. So we saw that the completion model. So if you see there are tons and tons of documentation. They say that completion models. So I got confused and I was giving this, it was failing. So even though they call it as completion models, specifically they're asking for the model deployment name. That's how it recognizes what is this model. Okay. And version number, as I was mentioning, I'll come back. And OpenAPI base URL is under endpoints. You will see this. There are other ways also you can see that one. It is here, endpoint. Okay. And the third key piece is key, which is I mean, they masked it. I will be showing this, using it for further demo, so I'm not showing the key. And OpenAPI version. So currently, if you see that the OpenAPI versions, we have to either do a search. I'll show you other way how to get to the OpenAPI versions, but I will show you one way is OpenAPI versions you can search. And we can come in here. When I was learning this, here I came, and that's where I figured it out that it's not deployment model, it's deployment model's name. What is the name you specified when you're deploying something? When I came here, they clearly told me that the version will be in this format, year, month, and date. Oh, that's when I understood. Oh God, I was giving numeric 1 and numeric 2. That doesn't work. So it should be like this. Okay. So those are the real fundamentals we need it before we jump further. Okay. So if you want to click on develop, it shows this one. You can work on it. And the models we deploy. So we came and we learned what are keys and what are endpoints. And also we have learned very important point is the model deployment name. It's not model, it's model deployment name. And version is not this version, the version of the API. So it will be in YYY, year, month, and date. So now that we have a little bit of 30,000 foot view of this Azure OpenAI service, this is the first time we are going to do something. Okay, I'm all excited and hope you guys also. So when you click on this one, I mean, when you come here, this will be the Azure OpenAI Studio. And as I was mentioning, we are very focusedly, we'll speak only on few points because this is the first time we are learning, and we'll come back. So from the deployment models drop down, I have deployed only one. So it shows this one. And what should I do here? I have no clue. But Azure AI Studio has covered us. When you click on this examples, there are a bunch of examples. So what it can do. So if you want to generate a quiz or generate an email or generate a product idea. So let's start making our hands dirty. So I've selected this. So translate the following to French and Spanish. So make a note of something known as tokens. We'll come back to the tokens, what it is. But as of now, it is charging 48 tokens. Our models understand and process the text by breaking it down into tokens. The total amount of content the models can process in a single API call is also limited. So there will be 2,000 tokens and 4,000 tokens or 8,000 tokens. There are some limitation of the number of tokens, but we need to understand that. It can't be unlimited tokens. What tokens are, we'll discuss in our next session. So as of now, we have selected one of the pre-built example and we click on generate. Now it is generating French. So it says that on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied you are in your store experience. And it is generating these two in French as well as Spanish. So here we are clearly giving the instructions. Okay. And suppose if you want some other thing like generate a quiz. So the query itself, the input itself is taking 222 tokens. Note that you will be billed based on the number of tokens you use it. So here, if you see that, previously it was 200 change tokens. That's only for the input. And see this, if I exclude this, the number of tokens is 222 tokens. Now I enter 223. I do one more enter, 224. So each and every character, I don't know what it is, we'll go and see what the tokenizer will look into the tokenizer, what it generates, we'll see that. But your input is counted as number of tokens. Assume that you're buying something. How do you weigh? Like you're buying 6 fruits or 7 fruits, or in lbs or kgs or pounds, whatever the measurement. Similarly, whatever the input we give, that is a bunch of tokens. Now that's the input tokens, and how much response it generates, that will be counted as a separate tokens. Now you see 222. See here, now 222, once it generates the output, we'll wait for this to complete. Okay. And you see that 421 minus 222. So 199 tokens for the output, 222 for input. The total number of tokens is 421. So you need to understand that tokens plays a very, very important role in this one. Okay, so there are pre-built models which you can start using, and you can start with this. So example, you give the input and ask it to give the product names. A lot of pre-built examples are there, we can use it. Okay, that's our next topic we discussed on the Azure Studio, OpenAI Studio. And this is an example I thought of to show that the text generative, it's not only not classified text, the translation. Let's go to translation. So Tamil and Telugu. Tamil, Telugu, and Hindi. So I want to give less tokens. Now it is only 38 tokens. I click on generate. Any language. So if you see that, it generates, first it is generating in Tamil, and then it generates in Telugu. It translates like on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with your in-store experience? Okay, I think it's not accepting the comma. Let's wait, I think. It's doing. See this, it initially didn't understand our intention. So first it did only for Tamil. Now it did for Tamil and Telugu. And now it's translating in Hindi also. So anything you want, you don't know the language, but you can use it. But ensure that at least you will be able to read it. If not, if the translation generates something else, we'll end up in problem. So that's the one we saw. It was really fun to add languages and see that it's getting translated. It was like a wow moment. Wow, it's doing a lot of things. I mean, they have trained that much. So let's come back and understand tokens. What are these tokens? Why should we worry about? Yes, we need to worry about tokens. let's come back and see, before going to the tokenizer, let's come back and see this concept over here, tokens. So every text you give, it will be broken into different parts, and that's how we will be built. So one token is approximately 4 characters or 7.75 words for English text. And we have a tokenizer tool to find out. So let's come back here and let me remove all the output, and let's see how many tokens it shows. It says that it's 38 tokens. We'll copy that and come back to the tokenizer and paste it here. Exactly, it shows that it is 38 tokens. So here it is 38 tokens. When we use the tokenizer tool, we gave the same input. It is also telling there are 139 characters, but that is divided into 38 tokens. And here we have some information, like as a rule of thumb, one token is approximately 4 characters. Okay. Sometimes it will do it in a different manner, but that's a different algorithm and different way of understanding. But for us, it's very important that there is something known as tokens, and we will be billed for tokens. So how many tokens make up the input and how many tokens make up the output? The combination is the charge they will charge. Okay, that will be the amount which will be billed for us. So if you see that 38 tokens, and you can see it's using different colors to tell that what is that they are charging. So the translate itself is 2 tokens and the word the is 1. But here, see this, the following is big word, more than 8 characters, including space, but it's being considered as 1 token. So here 2 is 1 token, Tamil is 1 token, comma is 1 token, Telugu, they divided in 2 tokens, and is 1 token, and Hindi is 1 token. So that is their algorithm, because if you see Tamil and Hindi, it's being considered as 1 token, but Telugu, it's taking 2 tokens. And here also you can see that experience is a big word, and 1 question mark is taken as this 1 token. But there is some algorithm they generated, but we need to understand that what is that you are going to build. You are going to build on the tokens with which you are giving input, and the output, whatever it generates, is another charge or bill, which is a set of tokens, and the combination of input and output is other token. So we'll try last. Malayalam and Punjabi. Let's try this, Malayalam and Punjabi. And then we'll go to the next step of creating our own. Oh, cool. So see this, it took 200 tokens to see here. It was 38 tokens. Now it is 238 tokens. So this was less than 38 tokens because we have this text, but output was more 200 tokens. So 38 plus 200. Again, I'm generating one more time. And oh, now it changed it. And I think now it will generate the Punjabi. Oh, it generated Punjabi also. That's cool. So we have this one also. We understood what tokens are. Now let's play our own examples. So I can come back here. I'll remove everything. I'll give this happy birthday. Now click on this. So it is generating this one. Happy birthday, wishing you a day full of joy and all different things it is giving. Suppose if I tell that use only maximum of 20 tokens, and let's remove this. Okay, it's 2 tokens. See that they told approximately 4, but the birthday itself is 8 characters, but it's being considered as 1. I don't know. We can check that. How is it splitting? Use this tokenizer tool. So, okay, happy, and including space birthday, it is taking, even though it's 14 characters, it's being considered as 2 tokens. So we are happy. I mean, we don't need to know that how that algorithm is splitting. All we need to know is, yes, there is something known as token. And you see that, suppose you ask a question or you're writing a program to read the sentiments from Twitter and feed into this text DaVinci programmatically. Maybe you've written a Python code or something, or you are taking thousands of Twitters and ask it to find out the sentiments, or you're asking it to do some processing. So if you don't keep a watch on the tokens, end of the day, you'll get billed, because you see this. Previously, it was 200 tokens. Max token was 200. When the max token was 200, let me delete this and go ahead and generate it. What you see is it generated this one. And we'll come back in the next session about the prompt engineering. How can we format this and other things? We will be seeing it a little later, but as of now, you understand that. Suppose I say that I want the output in less than 100 tokens. Okay, the output is already there. Okay, say that give me the output in 50. Okay, it's 37. One sentence. I'm saying that, see that if I don't give that desired format, that comes as part of the prompt engineering. We'll be learning that. And now if I ask it to generate, I'm saying that use 50 tokens. That's a max tokens. If you're generating more content, I don't want, don't give me, stop there. And every time it might give a similar response. You see this, it put everything in one single line. And in the previous run, we saw that it was in 4 different lines. I mean, see this, you have to understand and how it is generating, and you need to make it understand what is your expectation. Like I say that, okay, give it in 1 sentence. We can try, give it in 10 sentences. I don't know. I never worked on it, but thought of to try this. Saying that happy birthday. Okay, give me some 10 sentences on happy birthday. Oh, Jesus. Cool. It is generating 10 sentences, I assume. Oh, we limited this with max token. So let's make it 200. And let's delete this. And I'm saying that desired format. But we'll come back to the prompt engineering, folks. But as of now, just wanted to show the power of this text DaVinci. They will generate because it is still disabled. Wow. See that? It took 188 tokens, but it generated whatever we want. Okay, that's one thing. And another thing is, I'm saying like this. I'm saying, give me the top 5 food items from South India. That's 11 token. Okay, idli, dosa, vada, upma, and uttapam. Oh, okay. And now what we will do is I keep this output as it is. I'm telling that, tell me what is top five food items from North India. Aloo paratha, chole bhature, dal makhani, paneer butter masala, and samosa. Ooh, I like chole bhature. Delhi, India. Let's see specifically from one place. So we said that top five food items from South, top five food items from North. Oh, is it cheating? No, no, no. The Hebel, but different items. So that's another one. Now we'll try some other thing. Top five populated states in India. Okay. So Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Along with its population count. Suppose I don't want that to give me a word answer. I will write it there itself. So it's going and finding out what is the count. There you go. So it gave the count also. And again, we can, what is the use of this? So assume that let's tracking how the population is growing. So every day you can create a program, Python or something, hit this text Davinci, get this in a JSON format, state and its population, put it in the database, and use business intelligence to draw the graph. So that's a big picture. We are going to start a mini projects like those. So not only write some program, speak, interact with this OpenAI models, get some data. We will not stop there. Then we'll start putting it into the database and reading it from APIs. We'll do a lot, but this is the first day we are spending in here, so we'll be like this. Okay, now what we will do is we'll try one more before going into give me top five populated countries along with its count. Sometimes what happens is the way we give the input might not be as good as that. So we need to fine tune it. Okay. We are saying that give the top five populated countries along with its population. Oh Jesus, even though I gave a wrong spelling, it picked it up. Population count. Okay. It picked it up and going little crazy along with this population count and favorite food. Let's see how it gives. I don't know. I'm really interested to see that. Ooh, God, see this. How cool it is. Look, it's saying that the country name and it's giving the population count. Ooh, we don't eat rice in India. God. So it says that India population is 1.3 billion. Favorite food is curry, and United States hamburgers, and Indonesia, I don't know how to pronounce that, and Brazil also, I don't know how to pronounce it. I would love to see rice and curry because I don't know how I'll be able to live without rice. Okay. We can ask it to create some jokes. Yes. I don't know whether we'll be able to laugh on that or not, but it does a very good job to create jokes. So output. So it's creating joke. I'm telling that. Tell me two jokes on simple people. Okay. What did the simple person do when he saw a sign that said wet paint? He tried to dye it. Okay, simple or innocent? Innocent people. This makes sense. It is wet paint, so he was drying it. It seems. So that was real good joke. So tell me two jokes on innocent people. Or is it cracking the same joke on us? Oh, what did the innocent bystander say when he saw the crime? Oh my goodness. Oh, Jesus. What did the innocent person say when they were accused of something they did not do? I am innocent. Oh, God. Intelligent. Intelligent people. Tell me a couple of jokes on intelligent people. And also see that when you're doing all these things, it's exciting, but keep a watch on the tokens. How many tokens are being charged? Oh, see this. This was real fun. When we said that the simple people, when the paint was wet, he dried it. But intelligent people, when the paint is wet, he read it, but he didn't do any action. Right. So that's real cool. See that that's what it is doing the intelligence. See, when I say that simple people, whether it is giving the same joke or not, I'm not sure. But whether if it is giving the same joke, we can see that. See that the simple people are innocent people when they saw a board, wet paint, they're trying to dry it. But when it comes to intelligent people, they read it and they don't take any action because they know that it's just a signboard. We should not stamp on it. See that he just read it, he didn't take any action. So there is some real intelligence going on behind the scene. I just wanted to highlight that point. It's not giving any random answer. When we were seeing that, when we are seeing the simple people or an innocent people, they are drying it off. But when it's an intelligent people, it says that he just read it, he didn't take any action. So here I'm asking to give me two inputs. I've given two inputs. I'm saying that what is the tallest building in the world and what is the tallest building in Hyderabad? So maybe know that my IP is in India. So I figured it out. The tallest building in Hyderabad is Gachibowli Tower. And I think yesterday it gave a different answer. It wasn't this. Burj Khalifa in Dubai, that's the tallest building in the world. He generated it again. Because I remember yesterday it gave some other answer, the tallest building in Hyderabad. It wasn't Gachibowli Tower. Oh, okay, cool. So that's how we can start playing it. So what is next? So next what we will do is, okay, I didn't discuss about this one, but I would definitely like to show this one point. So till now, we were playing all the time in Azure Studio. And is this the only interface we can speak? We saw that we can speak with REST APIs, we can speak with Python and REST API, and Python and OpenAPI, C# and OpenAPI, and C# and REST. In different combinations, you can do that. And if you see a simple example I'll give you, I don't know anything about Python. Assume that. I know a little bit basics, but assume that I don't know anything in Python. what we can do is we can come and click on this view code, and it writes this Python code and give it to you. All you need to do is plug it and play. And similarly, if you want this JSON, it gives a nice input, a JSON. So if I come back to the Postman tool, and it should be the post call. See this. How do you know that this is a post call? When you go to Python, you see that they are pre-populating. They're using this Open API, and then they're passing this. And there was another example which we have seen. I think it was here. Yeah. Not here. Not here. So it was not here. It was in some other place. So the Python code, what we have seen in the previous one, we saw that it was making a call in the post method. So if you've seen that it is the post method it is making, where did we see that piece of code? So that code we will be using. We know that that's the post call. How did we check that it is a post call? Oh, correct. In this one, we saw that when we go to this rest, when we come back here, you see that it is making a post call. Okay, so that's how we know that it is a post call. So you need to have the complete URL, and we discussed about what is the base URL and what is the deployment name. Some people, they say the deployment model, as I was mentioning, it is definitely a deployment name, and the version number should be year, month, and date, and it's a post call. So now you see that the happy birthday, whatever we used it, I can click on send. Now it goes and it gives me. Now it tells that the prompt token is 2, the total tokens are 43. Sorry, completion tokens is 41, and the prompt token is 2, total tokens is 43. And here you can see that object is text completion and the model is text DaVinci 003. And similarly, if I want to make some complex things also, you can come back here, play, like we can view the code. And if you want it in a REST, you come back to the JSON. And now you know that what is that input. You can take that prompt and come back. It's in double quotes. Instead of happy birthday, I will use this. And now I'll generate. Okay. So what was the stop code? Finish reason. But where is the output? Ooh. I think I'm doing some, oh yeah, here. I think special characters or the escape sequence is the problem. Oh, I included the answer. That was my problem. I'm sorry for that. That was a problem. I included it. See this? Now, even if I have that special characters, I didn't observe that I have included the answers also, but now you see that. And similarly, the total tokens is 90 tokens. If I say that, give me something within 60 tokens. So the second answer should be a little bit short. I think this time it is giving something else. Let's use 90 tokens. G plus 32 floors, which is a little bit different, but Burj Khalifa is constant. But the tallest building in Hyderabad was it was showing some square, I think so last night when I was trying it, but today it is showing little different, but that doesn't matter. But it is doing wonders. So thank you so much, guys, for joining this session. And today was the first day we made our feet wet and hands dirt on Azure OpenAI, and we enjoyed doing a lot of hands-on. And the next session on Azure OpenAI, we will do programming. I mean, we might explore something else on Postman, but see that we will use the studio a little bit, not more, but we will go deep into the coding, getting started with coding, not deep, getting started with coding with Python as well as with C Sharp, and see how can we discuss about few other things like stop reasons or few other items. We will learn it. And again, happy weekend and thank you so much. Bye.